This episode of Spartan Up is brought to you by Aftershok's open ear headphones. Visit spartan.aftershokks.com for $30 off a wireless pair. That's spartan.aftershokks.com.
All right. Welcome to sunny California at Dodgers Stadium. I am here with Joe DeSena and myself, Sephra, Johnny Waite, and Colonel Nye. And it might be sunny and warm out there, but it's frigid in our hearts. I know it's corny, but okay. Wim Hof is our guest today, who is pretty much like a modern-day, most attractive Neanderthal human being I've ever seen.
The Iceman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
the Iceman.
barely needs introduction. This guy's blowing up. People are starting to realize how amazing he is. If you don't know him, if you know him, you're staying tuned anyway, but if you don't know him, you're going to learn some incredible things about health, longevity, performance, and a little bit different than what most people preach.
So we're going to get in some cold water?
Might even move to Vermont after this. We are here in BC, British Columbia, at the UBC, University of British Columbia, with Wim Hof. I want to say scientist, but technically you're not a scientist. And we're here for Spartan Up podcast. And we're going to talk about, I guess, getting cold and getting hot and getting smart.
Yes,
right?
All of them. Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
So you were just explaining to the children here how it all started.
Yes.
Tell me how it all started.
Yes. 3.7 billion years ago, the sea was hot. It evaporated. It was all hot inside, and then it evaporated, and then the oceans were there. They were very acidic and 100 degrees, like tea, cooking tea all the time, and very acidic. So the life began all with proteins. And those proteins, they found out a way to protect itself.
Within the acidic water.
Within the acidic,
hot water.
hot shock water. And that was developed. They're called chaperones, a shield around it with protective proteins. Now, those protective proteins, they help this cell, and they keep the condition of the cell safe when it is acidic and very hot. It's alive. That is the way life began. But those protective proteins, they don't work if we live because we still have them. But they don't work anymore because there's no need if we are 37 degrees like Celsius, right. Core body temperature in Fahrenheit, how much
96 point, 96,
96 around. Yeah. If we live all the time at 96 core body temperature, then there is no need for those protective proteins around our cells. Thus, they go away and they become vulnerable.
So all this
is because our comfort zone behavior actually made our cells weaker, and now we get all those diseases and all those depressions, and we don't know how to do. Get some pills, get some medicines. No way. Get and be like a Spartan. A Spartan is a man who exposes himself to natural elements. Thus, the protective proteins are going to work. Not only, also the autonomic nervous system, also the deepest part, the brainstem, is going to work. And when that all together is going to work, you not only reset the body, you bring it to its optimization. So you feel great.
So we've been saying now to 5 million Spartans out there, get out of your comfort zone. Get uncomfortable. If the weather's bad, go outside and do a workout in the bad weather.
Yes.
Right? We're saying to the children, get uncomfortable. And so we're not crazy.
Actually, you go and get into real comfort. Because the real comfort is being activated through the natural elements. First, you get through this little shivering of, it's outside. But then, at a certain moment, it begins to adapt. From the deep inside, it begins to adapt to the environment, the environmental stress, and you feel
alive.
Good.
Alive.
You see?
So what you're saying is you might be uncomfortable for a moment because it's not normal for you, but before long, it's really where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
Right?
We followed our head too much. Last 200 years, industrialization made everything, in our palm with a remote control. We can control anything and keep the cold outside. And when it is too hot, we make it cool inside. It's all like average. There is no difference anymore.
Right.
So
Not here and not here.
yes,
right?
we follow the head.
Right.
But in the head, the profane areas of the cortical, the neocortex, the normal way of thinking, the way we think, that one is just the surface of our brain. Not only the surface of our brain, also the surface of our body. Thus, we have a profane control over our body. And that's logical. And you go into the natural elements, then suddenly all the physiology, all the depth of the brain is going to work together, and you feel.
So there's actually science behind why you feel so good at the end of a Spartan race.
Yes, I'm doing this now, and it shows that once the brain in the depth is connecting with the body, then suddenly you get mind over matter. That is being Spartan. Spartan is the right way to trigger your and optimize your mind. So we are not talking about body anymore. We are built to be able, mind over matter, to master from the brain the body. But for that first, we need to go and learn of our teacher, Mother Nature. And that is outside. Because everybody is different again. Some people need so much, this weather, that weather, doesn't matter. Nature has the answers. And then, 6 days ago, I had a new publication, and it shows that I've tapped in areas of the brain thought of not possible to tap in. And, problems like depression, PTSD, trauma, fear, psychosis, and all those things, they do it with pills. And I tell you, now we found a way to tackle those problems by taking over control in the brain over those areas by redirecting the neurochanneling, and that is being done step by step, going out of your comfort zone behavior into some real comfort. Is when the mind, the brain, body establishes
connection
itself naturally.
So we get literally hundreds of thousands of emails where people are saying, "You changed my life," and I'm saying, "I didn't. We just provide you the barbed wire and the cold water and the fire, right?" And so what you're saying is by doing that, there's a reconnection?
Yes, absolutely. And listen, how far it goes. People expose me in a brain scan to cold water, ice cold water.
They dunk you in cold water.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. It's a perfusion suit.
Yeah.
Water is being poured in, and it flows in and back and being cooled with the ice.
Right.
So it's really cold. And that normally makes the skin temperature go down. When exposed to cold, your skin temperature goes down. Everybody agree? I think so.
Right.
But not if you got this connection of your brain with your body. Then you are suddenly able, when the cold comes in, to go to that skin just by thought and make the skin temperature not going down. That is the power, mind over matter. And we have now done the first study therein. We are pioneers, like Spartan and all that. That's also pioneering. But it brings back this old, primordial connection with the sense of life itself. And from there, you know it, because you feel it. And that's it.
Can you, now that you've reconnected, I don't know how many years ago it was when you figured this out.
Many years ago, but nobody believed it, and they told me I was crazy to expose myself to cold water and ice water. He is crazy. He is crazy, and I am crazy. Crazy about life, man.
But could you lose it? Let's say you got back into your comfort zone now. Would
Yes, of course.
Right.
You don't use it, you lose it.
So it's a constant practice.
Yes, but you love it. Once you begin to do it, you love it. You know it's about, hey man, we have a mammalian body. This is actually strange to have, but we came from being tropical, but now we got our consciousness. And this consciousness makes us different because we get higher cortical abilities. You know, thinking, contemplating, power of the mind. It's all there, and we better should begin to exercise it. And with that, the mammalian, you use this mammalian physiology, this animal, and go into nature and feel like an animal. Very conscious. And then not only you're going to feel great, you're going to learn to master your body by your brain, by your mind. And this time, it's not just, oh yeah, the baby, yes, and the master, over the mind, and this and that, I want spirituality. No, guys, it's an innate capacity of ours. We brought back through scientific proof the innate capacity that we actually are the masters over our body.
Colonel Nye, what do you...
So, no, Sephra, what in the world are you doing over there?
I'm trying to listen to the podcast with you. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get
but
these...
you've got like 6 different
I'm just trying to get
cords
these
all
headphones
tangled up and
untangled.
everything else. Well, why aren't you listening to your AfterShokz headphones? Your wireless, your Bluetooth.
I just got these white iPhone things that are like...
Put
tangled
those
like a-
down. Put them down. That's
Yes,
old
sir.
school. That's old technology. That's a waste of time, effort, and energy. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. All right.
Listen, yeah,
Try-
we're done
put-
with it.
Put those babies on. It's
Oh,
going to
wow.
change your world. Put those on.
I'm going to change my
Those
world.
are AfterShokz Bluetooth wireless open ear headphones. You've
What do
got the
you think, like a-
podcast
what's
on there.
like a
Listen to
green
it.
tooth?
Listen to it. Is that clear or what? Can you hear it?
Whoa, it's like...
Well, you've got it. You've got to sync it. Yeah. Well, that one's synced up to my phone right now, but yeah.
Well,
It's
it feels-
like deep resonating, right? You can hear it
Wow.
beautifully
I can hear that, and I can hear you.
at the same time, right?
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And
It's
you've
like,
got mobility.
it's
You
like
can get up and
1,000
walk
leagues under the
around.
sea.
Well, you can get up and walk around. You can do whatever you want. Before,
problem.
you were tied to those stupid cords.
I can still hear you. I know. I don't really like being tied to cords.
I know. I wish our mics were Bluetooth. So
green
this,
tooth. What do you think green tooth is?
anyway, great
not
that
funny?
you
I
had
think
great that you had this problem with it though, because this episode is brought to you by the AfterShokz open earphone headphones.
Well, thanks, AfterShokz. Yeah, I'm done with all the tanglingness. I think it increases awareness. You know what Tom Brown says?
No, I don't.
Awareness is peace. I feel
And
peaceful.
was he on the committee to make these headphones?
Yeah.
In spirit.
In spirit.
In
oh,
spirit.
they're
There you go.
learning.
I'm learning from you.
So, Colonel, where can the other Spartans join us in this blue wave?
Oh yeah, listen.
Bluetooth
and I hope they do. I hope as
motion.
many of them do as possible. Spartan.aftershoks.com, and you can get a $30 off
Wow.
a wireless pair. So go to Spartan.aftershoks.com.
Join the untangled revolution. How do we spell it?
That is AFTERSHOKZ.com. Aftershocks.com.
AfterShokz.
Well, the Greeks used to say it's mind and body, right? It's not
Yes.
just, right? And what drives me crazy is there's so many successful, monetarily successful people out there, business people, that have clearly mastered that or mastered anything that requires the brain, but they're not taking care of their body, right? Can you imagine how much more powerful they'd be if it was connected? Which
Oh,
I think
yes.
is what, right?
You know, people who think they can control it all, it's just the surface of the brain. The deeper parts include the sensation and the experience with your body. Then the brainstem is going to work, the limbic system is going to work, and when they all come together, then you got expanding consciousness, spirituality, and you become very, very powerful.
Where are you from?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. And so tell us about the first time you decided to jump into an ice-cold pool.
Yeah, I was 17, and I already had, like these kids, you run 50 kilometers, and the other guy ran a full marathon just recently at 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I also began just because I felt this urge within myself. There is more between heaven and earth. I didn't know what, but I was driven to find out. That's the way it all starts, with the intuition, with an instinct. Something inexplicable. drives me. So before when I was 12 years, I was already into psychology books. And I was into karate and yoga and all those things. Anything I could get my hands upon, I was doing it. So at 17, I was really like a ripe fruit to get into the depth. And that's what happened. When a Sunday morning, I was outside, I saw a thin layer of ice on water. I looked around because I had to undress myself, and nobody around Sunday morning. Easy like Sunday. No. Going into the water. And I felt from the inside, this is it. You feel it. And only 1 minute. And it gave me a rush. And so the other day I came back to see if it was repeated. And yes. And you know what happens? In the beginning, I was really, I did not really feel the cold. I became aware I didn't feel the cold. That it was like I was playing around with the ice. That was the first very remarkable thing to me. It's not cold. That is actually a natural capacity of ours to deal of the body to be able to deal with the impact is there. So from there I became aware that if I began to breathe like this, deeper, my body got charged. And I don't recommend this for anybody, but I was doing breathing exercises in the water at ease, and at a certain moment, just a couple of months it took, I could stay for 5 to 7 minutes under the ice. Every day. No problem. Very controlled. Don't do it if you cannot control this. Learn gradually to oxygenize the body so much in harsh environment that you become so tranquil like a baby in the womb. Under the ice. Wonderful. Deep meditation. Yeah. And that's what I did every day. And then I found out I could sit and stand the cold because I learned to oxygenize the body so much. That's what do you need when cold comes in? You need oxygen. You need energy. And that energy made me able, because I had control, to stay a whole night outside in shorts in freezing temperatures and have a great time. And from there, I began to walk barefoot outside in the mountains, and that is, all kinds of challenges in the winter. Yeah, I was playing with the ice when it breaks, and you jump from one to another because there's no fear when you fall in the water. You have a nice time. So we invented all kinds of games in the water.
We
became children in the cold, like the winter became the summer.
What would you recommend? There's people out there that are saying, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, I am crazy. Right. And about life, once again. But I got all the science to back me up. And guys, you know what is crazy? Autoimmune diseases, cancer and depression and all that shit. That is crazy. And now we found natural ways to tackle that. And I do that through science. I'm working currently with 10 universities in the world. I got completed studies into publication now. And just 6 days ago, we showed as the first time in the world in neuroscience that we are able to tap into the deepest of the brain consciously. And thus, the cold suddenly is being able to be tackled from within through my mind and make my skin temperature not going down. It's not only the cold, could also be heat, could also be environmental stress in any way. Because stress is impact. Are we able to deal with that? With our mind? Yes. And that's what I'm showing. And I say gradual exposure. Don't go direct.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if people are sitting out there on the couch, they're watching this, give them 2 or 3 things they could do.
Yes.
That doesn't require going to the North Pole.
As I talk to...
Listen up, children.
The guys, too. Take a warm shower, have a great time, but 30 seconds of cold afterwards drains the biggest organ of ours, besides of the skin, which is the vascular system. Vascular system, it is all the channels, the capillaries, the arteries, and the veins, and it's more than 100,000 kilometers, like 80,000 miles. And that is amazing. They consist all of reflexes and little muscles. So vascular fitness is needed to contract and open the veins and the blood flow. Thus, the blood flow becomes a lot better. And you know what happens? The heart beat is going to lower with 20, 30 beats a minute, 24 hours a day. What is the biggest problem in this society? What is the biggest killer in age? Is cardiovascular related. And this is the way to tackle it. With 30 seconds, cold shower every day. Keeps the doctor away.
So cold shower, you're not obviously not recommending poor diet.
No. Diet, yeah. Go back into nature. Go back into nature. When we felt we are hungry, our eyes become bigger. We go from sugar burning into fat burning. We become ketonic. The neural activity heightens, and we live. The body becomes very effective and knows how to find food. Now we got food everywhere. We follow the mind, not the ketonic body anymore. And the neural activity, thus, is not heightened. It's not stimulated. Thus, yeah, what happens? I say, eat, and eat like it is a feast with a full appetite. And what you do, and that is because the body is ketonic. It has its exercise of the nervous system, the ketonic neural activity, and every day. If you don't do it every day, like a cold shower not every day, then you have no vascular condition, right condition. That's why we have this big problem. Killer number one in our society is cardiovascular related. And with that, directly is related to nervous system because it takes care of opening and closing the veins.
What about people out there that are saying, well, I can't really get motivated. How do you get motivated? How do you get going? I'm a little depressed. What do you suggest?
Right, that's what we do. We tackle depression. And that's what we now showed. People think that you cannot get out of this depression, this inertia. And I tell you, you do this breathing, and we can do this together here. And I will show you that you are able, within 2 minutes, to get out of that inertia. Shall we do that?
Let's do it. Let's do the breathing.
We can do that.
Everybody, let's do the breathing.
Hey, Spartans, stay with us at the end of today's episode. We've included that entire 8-minute breathing exercise Wim Hof led us through during the interview. We think it's pretty cool, but remember, we're not doctors.
So big things. Cold showers.
Cold showers.
Breathing.
And breathing. And believing.
And get outside.
Believing that you are the master of yourself. That is not just abstract believing. It's no religion. It's science. Got that?
Got it.
Mindset, breathing, cold shower.
And outside?
And yes. Very, very rapidly, like in 1 week or 10 days or something, if you take cold showers and you've never been in the cold and all that, then first you go 30 seconds a cold shower finish. Then you increase it to 1 minute. And then at a certain moment, the connection between the brain and the body, the vascular system, is there. It's when you say, hey, I'm going to take a cold shower, then the core body temperature will be maintained because you are closing the veins by your mind. And then when you go outside, the functionality of you being in the cold water is being maintained. Thus, you feel, hey, I can do this. Yes, that's our natural condition. So it takes about 10 days for going into natural bodies of water later. And that is amazing. And then you become positively addicted.
What have I missed? What do you want to tell the audience that I didn't ask, that we didn't go over? Anything?
I think you got it with this. Being Spartan is the right thing to do. You know, we are much alike. I've done all these things to get actually to the essence of my soul. Hey, where is that? No, it really is the gate to the soul, to all the faculties of your brain operating at your will. Then you understand the purpose of life and the life force itself. That's spirituality. And it takes mud, and it takes cold, and it takes heat. It takes challenge. Challenge yourself, and you find out you are the best inside.
Anything we missed you guys want to know? Go ahead.
What do you think about all this alkaline water?
Alkaline water?
Yeah, alkaline water.
Yeah. I was there with Oprah Winfrey and Barbara Streisand and a couple of those guys doing the breathing as well. And Barbara Streisand was asking me, is alkaline water good? I said, just do the breathing. If you do the breathing, then you become alkaline. But alkaline water, of course. You should not take poison. It should be alkaline.
Sure.
Alkaline water, great. But your breathing is even more direct insight. Within 20 minutes, you can show yourself with these acidic papers, which you use for the swimming pool. If you pee on it before, you see acidic. Then you do the breathing for 20 minutes. Whoom, from yellow to blue. Blue is alkaline. And then they said, yeah, but it doesn't represent the blood. We did the study in the university, and they took the blood while doing these breathing exercises, and then they saw very high alkaline levels. And 5 hours later, they took the blood again, and still was there. So the breathing is able to change your alkalinity in your body, not only on the surface, but into the depth of the lymphatic system. And the way it's done is what we just did. How simple it can be. These kids are now they were already alkaline, because kids are not so much out of balance as us, because we are much more thinking, and then we mess up the chemistry, and then we are full of shit. And we should breathe, get it done. And that's what we should teach our children, how to become the master over our chemistry anytime.
Do you have any thoughts on how the breathing and the cold exposure affect you if you have diabetes or pre-diabetic?
Yeah, diabetes. If you take 10 people, diabetes, 2, then if you expose them to 16 degrees, which is just almost uncomfortable, comfortable, but then the body begins to adapt. So the body becomes active toward the environmental stress, and it's able to tackle it. So the activation of that activates also the insulin. And that's what never been done. Now it has been studied. I studied with those professors, and they take 10 people, diabetes, for 10 days, and reverse the symptoms. Just by sitting in shorts at home at 16 degrees. 16 degrees, you know how much in Fahrenheit that is?
Fahrenheit conversion, 16.
Yeah. You know, almost
yeah.
Uncomfortable, freshy. But your body has to work, and when the body works, and suddenly the insulin begins to work. So in 10 days, 8 hours a day, 16 degrees, you reverse the symptoms of diabetes too.
Joe's changing his thermostat.
How beautiful. Yeah, he already said it in the beginning, the instinct. We're going to live in Siberia, this, that. You don't need to go as far. But go as far to get the best out of yourself. Sometimes a Spartan race is really getting over, and I get the whole shit out of your system. I think that's great. People should do that. Go through the mud, into the cold, into the heat. Do it. Get this sucker silent and feel.
You're awesome. That was awesome.
Right on.
Guys, that was awesome.
Fully in. Let it go.
I try to.
I was amazed that you could actually change the pH level of your blood by doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
And the incredible thing with him is, like, a lot of people claim a lot of things, but this is all his stuff. He actually puts himself to the test. He's his own guinea pig, right? He says, you don't believe me? Okay, great, let's do it. Test me. Test my blood levels. Test what I can do. Put me in ice and see if my temperature drops.
Well,
right?
The best part was, so when we were in Vancouver, we did this great interview, and all the kiddos, all of his kids and Vancouver Mo's kids, or
His kids is Joe.
Joe's children, Jack and Charlie and Catherine. I don't think Alex was there. They're all sitting at his feet, and it was kind of like watching a great storyteller, like an epic elder, telling all these kids how to, get in some cold water.
But it was like the size of Shrek.
Oh, yeah.
Just these little people. It was awesome. And then so he went on that day to do one of his full workshops, and he actually travels with this scientist, right? Because now they're starting to get into the science of what he's doing. And they used to think that you couldn't voluntarily change your immune system, your autonomic nervous system, right? So your sympathetic and your immune system.
Parasympathetic.
And so what all of these studies that Wim Hof is doing right now is showing that, like, actually I can.
Yeah, because it flushes the system, right? It shocks the system.
Yeah.
And I've been doing cold showers since I was a kid, so clearly it works.
Sure. Well, but with that, it's a lot of what you preach through the races and through the Spartan mindset. Our society, we avoid any kind of discomfort. 70 degrees. You live in a 70-degree house. You start your car, so it's 70 degrees. You drive to your 70-degree gym. You go to your 70-degree office. You put your jacket on every time you go outside. So
Florida's a pretty busy place.
Yeah. But we're getting weaker and weaker because of it. And the whole idea with the breathing, that we go through life, most people will never take a full breath, and they would certainly want to exhale a full breath. Sure. And so he talks about we are living at such a limited band of our potential because of this focus on comfort and lack of effort.
When you look at, we were hanging out with these little kids today, and you just always see their bellies. They go big and they go little, and you're like, that's how you're supposed to breathe, because we know everything when we come in, and then it's just beaten out of us by all the commodified garbage where they turn up your thermostat, and it's like, being cold is awesome. Don't be afraid of cold water. It feels so good.
Military do any of this stuff?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, clearly, when SEAL training, right, that's one of the things that weeds a lot of guys out right there is the cold. Because you're not used to it. Most people aren't, at least, right? And it does. It affects not only physically but psychologically, right? Because there's an element of loneliness to it. There's an element of just individual kind of pain or hurt for most people until you've learned to kind of some of these techniques to kind of master it, right? To kind of shut it out.
I have two comments for that. Okay,
right.
One from like an esoteric spiritual level, okay?
Yeah.
Water is the great collective unconscious that connects us all, right? So if you're not getting in cold water, you're missing the messages from the ancestors.
What about warm water?
Have fun on your journey. I love hot springs more than anything, right? So it's like super hot, super cold. Love it. Anything in between?
Boring.
So what's the other thing? You said I have two things.
Okay,
I'm going to hold you to it.
Two things, because it reminded me.
One was hot.
Yeah. But no, it reminds me, like, when you plant seeds in a greenhouse, I know seeds, whatever, it like actually is our nutrition in the entire universe, so it does kind of matter. You have to plant it in the greenhouse, and they're used to being warm, and then you have to open the windows or put them outside a little bit because you harden them off, right?
Right.
So that they can be strong enough for when you transplant them out in the
other places.
So maybe people just need to get hardened off here. I'm going to get made fun of, probably. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, don't be afraid of cold water. So many people are like, look, if you don't take a cold shower, you can take a hot shower, and then at the end, turn it on for 30 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to get dressed and you're just like sweating because you're so hot? It's like,
I've been traveling around the world taking cold showers, standing under waterfalls, as you know.
The marathon monks, tell them about that, Joe.
So it was the waterfall monks, and they go for like 100+ days every day under that ice cold water. Yeah. They hold the chain so they don't get blown off the wall, and it's just part of that whole spiritual process, right? That ritual. But that was freezing, and I got the kids to do it. But the coldest water in the world that I felt is Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
The shower.
Oh, really?
In the shower.
There are some cities like that, aren't there?
Yeah, Chicago is hot. I mean, cold, yeah.
So go ahead, Tim.
No, I was going to say just one thing, though. If everybody that's listening to us has already obviously seen the video, right? But if they're only listening and they haven't seen the video, they could also watch the movie Snatched. I forget the guy's name already, but there's a character in the movie.
The pikey?
The Russian. The Russian fella.
The assassin Russian.
Yeah.
The crazy guy.
He is a dead ringer.
Almost identical.
Yeah, doppelganger.
The way he speaks and the storytelling. And the aggressiveness.
Well,
it's
but
interesting.
So other
go
than
back and watch that movie and then compare it to.
Other than Wim Hof's, his own, like I say, the incredible physical things he does and what he's proving, but he's such a good storyteller, and that's really important because there are a lot of people out there who've learned things for themselves and they want to share it, but they don't have that compelling way of speaking. And so I think a lot of the success, he's probably not the first guy who's done all this stuff. In fact, he had to learn from somebody else too, right? But he is the first one who's been able to put it out so clearly and so compellingly that the people are listening. And, it's incredible. He's making a difference in the world for sure. I wanted to mention one thing too that, we get guests on who do endurance running, and you talked about that sometimes the only way to get rid of the monkey mind is to outrun it. When it's chirping, but if you go and run 100 miles, somewhere along the way it gets tired and gives up, and you just go into that flow state. And comfort isn't going to create that flow state. And so discomfort. And so, the breathing, I have a lot of people.
Just breathe.
I have a lot of people who say, God, I wish I could meditate. And they think meditation means sitting down, crossing your legs, zenning out. Meditation is simply breathing. Meditation is simply sitting in cold water and causing yourself to get still. Anything that's going to take you, that's going to change your state. There's a great book which is called Chasing Fire, and it's all about a lot of military references, a lot of Burning Man references, but anything that's going to change your frame of reference is going to give you a different perspective. And cold showers and different breathing change your perspective tremendously. So, another great book, Joe, that I don't know if you're aware of or not, it's called What Doesn't Kill Us. And boy, I wish I could remember the guy's name who wrote it. I'd love to give him a plug, but the book is called What Doesn't Kill Us, and it talks about Spartan racing. It talks about Wim Hof. It talks about getting out of our comfort zone and stretching ourselves. You do that great thing with a rubber band where you say, if I can teach you to stretch this far without breaking, it's easy to stretch this far. And so the idea about getting in the cold shower, the other thing with that is, you can get in the cold shower 20 days in a row, and that 21st day you go, I've been doing this for a long time, I don't need to do it, I don't really feel like doing it today. That's the day you need to do it. It's when you don't want to do it, being able to do it anyway. The day you get up and you've been running for 3 months, you go, I'm not going to run today. That's the day you need to do it, right? So
I agree.
Yeah, so Joe, tell them where they can find out more about these great things.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you can find us in an ice tub.
Yeah, always.
At Spartan.com/podcast.
We'll be there.
Blessings, Wim.
This episode of Spartan Up is brought to you by Aftershok's open ear headphones. Visit spartan.aftershocks.com for $30 off a wireless pair. That's spartan.aftershocks.com.
All right, everybody ready? Here's what we're doing.
Okay.
Take it away.
Are you guys ready? Yes? Okay, there we go. Breathing. Let it go. Okay, come on. Let it go.
Through the nose or mouth?
Doesn't matter. Take him in. Let it go. Take him in. Let it go. Take it in. Let it go. Can I have the watch of you? Yeah, my telephone. I want you guys, and then you see that everybody here is able, regardless of age, to stay 2 minutes without air in the lungs. Yes, sir. And even longer. You will see. But first, we go. The clock? No, not yet, not yet. Yeah, give me the clock. Yeah. Then I control. Yeah, I get.
Guys, this is going to be
Thank you,
superpower.
Ben.
We're getting superpowers here, so pay attention.
Yes, this is the way we learn to change the chemistry in our body. The inertia, that's chemistry. That's not nice. If you put sugar in the petrol, the car will not work. If you are inert, you don't like to move. So we're gonna purify the thing, and then suddenly, hey, it's there, life force.
Let's do it.
Yes. Furia. 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 Just get in. Full breath in. 15 more. 15. Fully in. Let it go. Fully in. Let it go. Fully in. 12. Fully in. Fully in. Fully in. Fully in. 8. Fully in. 7. Come on, fully in. Fully in. Here it comes. Pull it in. Let it go. Stop. Breathing. No breathing. Close your mouth. No smuggling. Later we laugh and we do all kinds of things. But just witness. Just look. You are not breathing. We change the chemistry in the body. Thus, now, the body is not acidic. It's alkaline. And that's why you don't need to breathe. And you stay still. You're still in. You're still without breathing, eh? Good. It's 35 seconds now. Round number 1, I want you to do more than 1 minute. And round number 2, we go for 2 minutes. Because you're young guys, you're strong guys, and you know this. Just witness. Just witness. Okay. With the minute, you're going to breathe in. Breathe in. Hold. Five, 4, 3, 2, let it go. Now you understand what this is, huh? Now we go seriously, okay? Fully in. Go. Fully in. Fully in. Fully in. Fully in. Okay, fully in. And go. Don't mind. Just go in. Let it go. Going 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 in. Let it go. Okay, 15. Come on. Serious. Go. 50. 40. 30. Fully in. 12. Fully in. 11. Fully in. Fully in. 9. Fully in. 8. Fully in. 7. Fully in. 6. Fully in. 5. Fully in. 4. Fully in. 3. Fully in. Good. Fully in. 1. Comes the last one. Fully in. Let it go. Stop. Mouth close. Close your mouth. And relax. Just feel. There's no need for breathing. Don't laugh. Close your mouth. It's all right. Nushi. $30. Just keep it. Good. Still there. There's no force. This is chemistry. It's going on. Normally I take normal people in 3 rounds to 2 minutes. And it always works. If you take it a little bit serious, then it works. Who is still in there? Good. Minute is passed. Good. Whenever you feel the urge to breathe, you can breathe. Huh? But if it is not needed, don't. 120. Good. I think 130 is already okay. Who's still in? Good. Okay, fully in. Hold. And let it go. This is the way you change your chemistry. This has been proven in the universities, making the blood alkaline. And when it becomes alkaline, then the nervous system goes really fast in the body and resets the body. The adrenal axis. Spartan Race.
Thank you for watching another epic story of success. If you like our message, please share Spartan Up with your friends and subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you catch our show, maybe in the woods. Spartan Up is brought to you by Spartan Race. To find a race near you, visit Spartan.com.